We can go over all the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation. Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would you say it's a crucial moment for her? Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? I mean, possible. We were just talking about overthinking things. I don't think there's anything else in here. I think we can just go in. Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the door slid shut. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated the very depths of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. I'm glad that they went with blinding for this line, because mentally, as I was like reading the previous light, I'm like, don't say that it's like, you know, the dark light of despair, the twilight, like don't, because despair is not a bright thing, right? And I'm like, please don't pull the, you know, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Oof, that is garish. I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. Yeah. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed. Let's get on with the show. It looks like a vaporware music video background. True. True. And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. It's the same fucking thing every time. Trials drive me mad. Welcome in, Exotic. Yeah, this one I have a feeling is going to be very long too, but at least we're starting the day with it. Okay, let's go through the e-handbook and just refresh our minds a little bit because we haven't played this since Friday. Okay, what do we got for the truth bullets? Okay, the victim's identity is unknown. They were dead before the blast. They had been stabbed with a knife which went completely through the body, which I find very strange. Struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. Covered in other wounds, but they were at least several days old. No, like the... Okay, the upper half of the body is burned beyond recognition. Had to be extinguished. Upper half was soaking wet, bottom half was dry. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fake nails. Had the hand tattoo of a dog, likely Fenrir. This was part of the bomb. Okay, the sprinklers are programmed to come on at 7:30 every morning. It is impossible to change. As such, it can be assumed that if the body had been there in the garden before 7:30, it would have gotten wet. However, we do have a tarp. So 7 a.m. Makoto wakes to the morning announcement. 7:30, Makoto and Aoi arrive in the dining hall. 7:30 to 9, Makoto meets the others in the gym, and together they head to the headmaster's room. 9 a.m., Toko is told to find the pickaxe in the garden where she discovers the body. The knife was found near the body. It's the same type as used to stab it before the explosion. It's the same knife that Toko had given Makoto for safekeeping, and the knife the masked assailant was holding when they attacked Makoto. Okay, the tarp is hidden among the other items in the tool shed. One side was wet and filthy with mud and grime. The other side was completely clean and dry. Like I said, I have theories about this item, but I also have concerns about it because I believe that this is used to cover the body so that way it didn't get wet when the sprinklers went off. But I feel like if it was draped over the body, then this side that was wet wouldn't also be dirty because that would be up. So I don't know if maybe the body was wrapped in it. So I don't know. I'm a little confused there. Okay, the number of chickens in the chicken coop had decreased from 5 to 4. Yasuhiro claims that there were, without a doubt, 5 chickens before nighttime last night, and yet... Okay, so Byakuya stated that there was no corpse in the garden just after nighttime last night. So it can be assumed that the murder must have taken place sometime after that. Byakuya also said that he, Yasuhiro, Toko, and Aoi were in the gym the entire night and none of them were alone at any point. He'll be like, look at those chickens, the chimkins. The uncomfortableness makes it worse, yeah. Okay, body before the explosion. The corpse had a mask covering its head and a white jacket covering its body. A knife had been thrust into the abdomen and there were bloodstains around the wound. The body had stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. It was noted, however, that there was no blood on the ground around the body. Mukuro Ikusaba, female, known as the ultimate soldier, the 16th student. She became obsessed with the military from a young age. She disappeared while on vacation in Europe and reappeared in Japan 3 years later. Apparently every member of Fenrir gets a tattoo somewhere on their body to represent their membership in the group. Yes, Kyoko is thankfully fine. For now. Hiding somewhere in the school? Exactly. Apparently the killing game began with 16 students, or participants, or 16 participants, all students. It is assumed that Mukuro Ikusaba was the 16th student. It is interesting that it is listed that it is assumed. Monokuma also revealed that the reason Kyoko wears gloves is to hide something she doesn't want anyone to see. We know it was scars. I find it very interesting that that's not in the truth bullet. She's like the most sus next to Makoto, true. I don't believe it, but true. Woodblock decoration found in Kyoko's room. It looks like it actually is the key to one of the lockers in the dojo. We know, we opened it up. There was arrows in there. There we go. Titanium arrows. There appear to be 10 in total. There was bloody duct tape in there as well, wadded up into a ball. It's assumed that it's related to the case, but I feel like that's a pretty big assumption. Oh, and Kyoko's account. She used Monokuma's secret tool, which grants access to any room in the school, and snuck onto the second floor of the dorms. The area seems to have no monitors or security cameras. Okay, so we're refreshed with everything. We are going to immediately forget it all. But we have tried. Do I have any skills that aren't set? Yes, I do. Extraordinary focus we can set. That's it. Okay. Be funny if they throw us a trail like... Oh, like, yeah, like Leona's 5th trail. Let's go! Let's do this. It's gonna be time for an ad break in a second, but still, let's do this. Let's begin with a basic explanation. Oh, God. We've read this so many times. We're gonna just skip through this, unless there's anything different. Okay. I mean, I understand. Monokuma, you do keep, like, putting new mechanics in. It's like we're, like, what, fucking 35 hours in, and you keep adding new mechanics. But still. You don't need to explain that part. We got that. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is. True. It would have been nice if, you know, I was allowed to investigate the body more. The courtroom does change every time. Monokuma redecorates, and it's irritating as shit because this is ugly as fuck. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is. Yasuhiro! What the fuck? Maybe you shouldn't talk during class trials. It is not Kyoko. She's standing across from you. It's Kyoko, there's no other explanation. But Kyoko's standing right there. It's like, I know that there is strict drug laws in Japan. I'm pretty sure that weed is extremely illegal, but I don't know how Yasuhiro manages to be like the biggest fucking pothead in this game. Yeah. Kyoko's standing right there. No, that's a ghost. But she has legs and stuff. Ow, you don't think that ghosts have legs? Okay. What goes on inside his brain? Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology. Yeah, there's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate. It's that bloody duct tape. Somebody should rip off like a part of it that isn't bloody and just slap that right over Hiro's mouth. Okay, so I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? I'm like, Makoto, do not give that any sort of credence. You do not need to refute that point, okay? I mean, Hina is the only one who can drop her intelligence as much as Hiro can from this part. Yeah. Hina... The thing is that, like, I feel like it's a front from Hina half the time. That she's doing it for, like, comedic value. Like, she's just sweet and silly, you know? While Hiro, I feel like he legit believes some of this. My proof of that is, like, it's that not necessarily reaction image, but the Will Smith, like, holding out his arms, like, here, sort of thing. Did you know cheese? I did know cheese. Everyone quick, favorite type of cheese? I would say Havarti, especially like a jalapeno Havarti. Or like a vegetable Havarti. It's something with a little extra. Just the texture of Havarti is so good. Brie's a good one. I didn't used to like brie, but then I had like a crab mac and cheese with brie in it, and that was really, really good. I'm like, okay, I've changed my opinion. It won me over. Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body. Is me Gouda? Yeah, like a smoked Gouda too. Excellent. Any cheese? Yeah. Her traits? One important trait that Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her. Kyoko's gloves, maybe? Because the other stuff doesn't seem to make any sense with what's been going on. They'll give us some insight into the mystery, I'm sure of it. Yeah. In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves. Okay. And how would you happen to know the answer? In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands that you don't want anyone to see. Oh. You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right? They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. Really, the gloves did, but the shirt and coat and all the other clothes did not. It's not even 9 how you make lunch. I don't even fucking know, man. It's gonna be a struggle morning. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all. There's no way that the corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove it, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. Like, look at her. So I don't have any choice but to. Really? Okay, it could be the tattoo on the right hand or the fake nails. That Kyoko there is just a ghost. Impossible. Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost. The dead body wasn't wearing gloves. They got burnt up in the explosion. Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion? Yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko. This entire discussion is idiotic. I know that the body isn't Kyoko's and I can prove it. Like, this is one of those ones that I fucking hate because I'm like, wait, how am I supposed to prove this? What twisted logic are you using? Okay, let me see the exploded body analysis again. Byakuya hasn't ever been right, been so right, exactly. I mean, like, it would be difficult to wear the gloves with fake nails. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I'm just speaking as a woman who has long nails and knows that gloves can be very uncomfortable. So it's like, I'm not sure if this is what they're going for. Yeah, when the fake nails and the gloves clash, that's kind of how I feel. I mean, I can wear gloves even with long nails, but you have to just basically get gloves that are a little bit too large for you. I'm like, is this a schlorp? Do we have to suck up one of the points and fire it at the other one? Kyoko there is just a ghost. Wrong button. Wasn't wearing gloves. I couldn't even read what the fuck that said underneath all the purple. We don't technically know that Kyoko doesn't have a tattoo, though, unless she pulls off the glove. I mean, I feel like the tattoo is the better... Ah, God damn it. Nope, it's not the glove on that one. God damn it. Okay, so that wasn't wearing gloves. She must have been wearing gloves. Okay, we'll try fake nails against the must have been wearing gloves, because personally I feel that that would be uncomfortable. Oh, come on. God damn it. Fucking mini games. No! Wait, that was a bounce. That wasn't a no. God damn it. Okay, that seemed like a bounce, but... That seemed like a bounce, but that should have been a no. That's a no. Okay. Yeah, Schlorp trademark, yeah. Shoot the purple. Okay, basic rule is to always know, determine what is false, and then dispute it. Yeah. God, I'm not sure what logic they're trying to get me to go here. We might try Schlorping. Oops, wrong button. Oh, that was the wrong button. Thankfully, we missed. Okay, we're gonna try taking she wasn't wearing gloves and then putting it against she was wearing gloves, because that... There. The fuck? That makes sense to me. She must have been wearing gloves. She wasn't wearing gloves, though. God damn it. Yeah, we'll try it the other way. Oh, wrong fucking button. I missed it, god damn it. Unfortunately, I pressed too far down at the last second. I didn't. God damn it. Wrong button. Swear to God, I hate these minigames so much. There. It's not so bad if there's a little space that I can scooch around the purple. Got it. Come on! That hit! I do want to try this one before we move on to another thing, just so that we can exclude it. That's right, I can slow down time, I just never use that functionality. Okay, so we know that's wrong. Go back to the nails that didn't immediately text. It bounced though, like... I can't remember which one we were trying that on. Okay, it's not the one against Aoi. We're gonna fucking die and just to like redo this when we know. I don't honestly care. There's no penalty for dying in this game, so... Oh, that's the wrong. What the fuck? I swear we tried that. God damn it. Fuck you, game. You can also, yeah, so not a slurp after all. Fake nails and wearing gloves from Hiro. Yeah, Hiro's just stubborn as a mule. Really, it's Hiro's fault. We had it right. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. It can be. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious with their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think? I actually don't agree. I think that just because you don't want other people to see it doesn't mean that maybe she takes her gloves off when she's at home and wants to admire her pretty nails, you know? So, I don't agree with that statement. Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that. Hiro, the last thing I want to hear is your take on women. You tell him, Aoi. If anyone doesn't know women, it's you. Well, Kyoko, any thoughts? I mean, I don't have nails that are, like, I don't have an inch-long fake nails, so I can't say. But still. Well, Kyoko, any thoughts? What is a woman? Just a miserable pile of secrets. But enough talk, how about you?
この手袋は日常生活に支障をきたさないように私の手の大きさに合わせて作られている。
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure that they don't interfere with my daily life.
付け爪なんかしていたらこの手袋はつけられないわ。
If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly. So yeah, so definitely sounds like it's not her. Admittedly, I'd be like, Kyoko, can you come here so I can like squeeze the tip of your glove, like your finger, to make sure that you don't actually just have short, stubby fingers in those gloves. Can a class trial go ahead with a missing student? I do not believe so. Because before this class trial, Kyoko actually was missing, and we were waiting in the elevator, waiting for the last student, and we were all confused, and Monokuma wasn't explaining it. So, I don't think that it will go without a class trial. Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko. It's in the rule, all students participate. Yeah. I'm playing through it myself as well, trying not to pass you. Oh, that's so... I mean, you don't have to wait for me. Like, if you are more than welcome to pass me as long as you don't spoil. So this is a 16th student that's never been to a trial. They're dead since the beginning. As far as we are aware, yes. We don't have conclusive evidence about who the corpse is. We do know that there is a 16th student. So the corpse may or may not be the 16th student, but we know very little about them, other than they are the ultimate despair hiding somewhere in the school, because they will not fucking let us forget that. Which should have been obvious, since she's standing right here. Okay, so then who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out. Yeah, that's actually helpful, Hiro. That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles. Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Oh, good. More shooting. Okay, tattoo on the right hand, I think, is the most important thing here. If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died? There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body, then there's nothing else we can do, right? Okay, I think it's identify the body and tattoo on the right hand. Yeah, and the one thing that can tell us was on the victim's own body. Oh, what? I pressed the wrong button, god damn it. There we go. I swear to God, if you took a word cloud of the things that I say on this stream and like tallied up, I pressed the wrong button would be one of the things that I say the most. There is one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body. For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death. A cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see. Hiro, you have seen so many cruel and unusual deaths recently. Why does this still appeal to you, you goddamn psychopath? Let's go so much smoother since it wasn't Stubborn Mule Hiro who said it, yeah. Like, I find there's very little middle ground in this game. It's not, like, either something immediately makes sense and you're like, oh yeah, I shoot this to that, and it's fine. Or it's so fucking opaque that you have to try everything against everything else. She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about. The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand. Oh yeah, the design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Ugh. Toko, come on. Her master must have made her get it to be like, you're my bitch. Toko. Honey. Come on. Seriously? They really did something that humiliating? No, she's a goddamn mercenary, guys. No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo. Whoa, really? That imagination gives her writing ability. At least she has that. True, at least she can cash in on that. I realize that I am chiding Chuck Tingle right now, basically. You know, go ahead, make that money, write your books. But please stop perving, like, in the class trial. It is uncomfortable. Oh yeah, Toko definitely needs to find a better partner than Byakuya. Someone who understands the meanings of safe, sane, and consensual, and can make sure that she's gonna be taken care of, like, and not abused. If you compare the tattoo to other information we have, the victim's identity should become clear. I believe it is the profile. Known as the ultimate soldier, became obsessed with the military, disappeared, vacation in Europe. Yeah, everyone in Fenrir gets a tattoo somewhere on their body. It's this one. The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group that Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to. Meanwhile, Hiro's burger got abducted by aliens. That was one of the best things that Hiro ever said. No, not his burger. Okay, so... To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. Fenrir? The image that represents Fenrir is... Is this just gonna be dog? Oh, wolf, okay. Like, the shortest hangman's gambit ever if it was just dog. Otherwise known as Loki's wolf. 1000%, yep. Bork, bork, bork. Interesting, I didn't hear the word that I know for wolf there, which is okami. Oh, there we go. Fenrir, the wolf of Ragnarok, it's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of a trickster god, Loki, and a female giant. Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star. I mean, you kind of are getting a glimpse of that when she's being a perv, too. Gaming. Oh, damn, I was right. Yeah, no, you were right. God plus giant equals wolf. I mean, there's been stranger shit, right? A wolf tattoo. Then that means, I mean, like, Zeus got around in a lot of interesting ways with a lot of interesting offspring. Exactly. Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. Ancient Greeks were the first furries, confirmed. Yeah, which means that person once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro. What?
ちょっと待ってよ。戦場ムクロって黒幕の正体だったはずじゃ。
Hold on. Isn't she the one that's behind this whole thing?
驚いてるみたいだね。だけど大正解だよ。
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. A welcome, incest. Yeah, I just find it interesting how many, like, Greek gods either took the form of animals or, you know, otherwise had some sort of animal type thing going on. So that's what that was from. Technically, I suppose I should say that, like, Egyptians were the first fairies, maybe? Thinking of all, like, the different animal-headed gods and stuff. Yeah, Egyptians had ones, or some too. Exactly.
そうなんだ。今回の学級裁判は戦場ムクロ殺しの学級裁判だったんだよ。
Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. Okay, so it's been confirmed. So, dead person definitely is 16th student. The ultimate despair.
どういうこと？黒幕が死んでその学級裁判が開かれるなんて。
Oh, what? Are you saying the mastermind is dead and now we have to have a class trial? No, it means that we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
でも超高校級の絶望って明らかに黒幕っぽいフレーズなのに。
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
いや、そもそも戦場ムクロが超高校級の絶望だったということすら怪しい。
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. Woof woof, I love that.
のプロフィールにはそんな記述は一切なかった。
After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
戦場ムクロは超高校級の軍人とあっただけだ。
All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. I do also find it interesting that I believe in the student file, it said that she was the supposed or the assumed 16th student, and so I'm wondering if the ultimate despair is another student or something.
確かあの情報の出元は
If I remember correctly, that other information came from
ギリギリ京子。お前が苗木に教えたんだったな。
Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
つまりキリギリッチの情報が間違ってたってことか？
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
それじゃあ戦場ムクロって何者だったの？
Then who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She was the 16th student hiding somewhere in the school.
ずっと姿を消しててようやく現れたと思ったら殺されちゃってるなんて。
She's been gone this whole time. When she finally turns up, she gets killed. I just imagine her hiding in the vents in every scene that we've seen so far in the game, where she's just like been peeking out of a vent at the group for every class trial and everything. Every soldier brings an emotion with them to the battlefield. Is this Metal Gear? Is this love blossoming on a battlefield? Watch over. Yeah. It's been a long time. I only played Metal Gear Solid 1, honestly. I never played any. Well, actually, and 2, never mind. Who can forget the naked cartwheels of Metal Gear Solid 2? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
普通重要な登場人物が死ぬ場面ってのはもっと描写がまどろっこしくなるものなのに。
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail. That one is to Metal Gear Solid 3. No, 3 was Snake Eater, wasn't it? Oh, the line that you said was from 3. Got it. She plays Among Us, confirmed. Yeah. Among Us is one of the very few multiplayer games that I have. I am terrible at it, but maybe we'll have a community day at some point. I'm very bad at it. I would like to redact my woof woof comment and instead add, that's so cute.
つまり 重要な登場人物ではなかったということだ。
So you're saying she wasn't an important character?
戦場ムクロは俺たちと同じただの参加者でしかなかったんだよ。
Which would mean that she was the same as us, just another participant.
じゃあ黒幕って誰だべ？
Then who's the real mastermind?
やっぱり希望が峰学園の学園長なんじゃ。
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
いいえ、学園長は関係ないはずよ。
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
だが戦場ムクロの情報だって間違っていたんだ。その情報も怪しいもんだな。
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong. I mean, Byakuya, let's tally up the number of times that you've been wrong and the number of times that Kyoko's been wrong. Okay? Okay.
私の情報は間違っていないわ。
My information was not wrong.
はいはい、今は学級裁判中ですよ。戦場ムクロを殺した黒を解き明かすのが先でしょう。
Okay, okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Monokuma right now is my mods trying to keep me on track for the fucking game so it doesn't take 100 hours for us to get through it.
それ以外の死後は返金ってことでお願いしますよ。
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible. I had a feeling who did it. I actually have no fucking clue who did it in this case. We'll see as the evidence starts to like fall into place. Also, are we sure that the info was wrong? Because she's been pretty accurate so far. Yeah. It could be that it's right, but it just needs a little bit more clarification.
いいだろう。黒幕の正体を暴くのは後回しだ。だが覚えておけよ。
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this.
必ずお前の正体を見つけ出してやる。俺の戸上の名にかけてだ。
No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
僕はそういう挑発は相手にしないことにしてるの。
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. I gotta remember that line and use that when someone's needling at me to try to piss me off.
さて、お前らが混乱しないようにもう一度はっきり言っておくけど。
Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record.
学級裁判が起きるのは学園の生徒たちの間で殺人が起きた場合なんだからね。
The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place.
その点をしっかりと頭に叩き込んでおくように。
Hammer that point straight into your big old brains.
つまり被害者も犯人も生徒の誰かということだな。
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
じゃあ、戦場ムクロはこの中の誰かに殺されたってこと？
Then one of us killed Mukuro?
いや、17人目の高校生が隠れてるって可能性も。
Wait, no. There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along. Yeah, Monokuma's losing his patience.
ありません。参加者は全部で16人の高校生だけです。
Nope, there are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events. This is becoming more apparent.
マジかよ。じゃあこの中に戦場ムクロを殺した犯人がいるんか？
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
誰よ？誰が殺したの？
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
慌てるな。すでに容疑者は絞られている。
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
苗木、お前には分かっているはずだ。絞られている容疑者、それが誰を指すのか。
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to? Monokuma set itself up to have to deal with this, so it really doesn't have a lot of room to get annoyed. Yeah, you want to get a bunch of stressed teenagers together in a room and then ask them to focus on a group project? Okay. Based on what we know, there can only be two suspects. Makoto and Kyoko. I still don't believe that, but I know that that's where this is leading.
絞られてる容疑者って
僕とキリギリさんのことだよね。
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
どうしてそうなるの？
Why would you say that?
いいだろう、説明してやるか。
Allow me to explain.
昨日の夜時間直後に俺は植物庭園に行っている。そ
Just
してそこで確認しているんだ。
just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm.
その場所に死体がなかったことをな。
At that point, there was no dead body there.
つまり殺人が行われたのは俺が植物庭園に行った以降ということになる。
So the murder must have taken place after I left the garden.
だがな、その後俺と葉隠れと深川と朝比奈はずっと体育館にいたんだ。
However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
体育館に。
Gym?
俺たち4人は体育館でモノクマの解体作業に取り掛かっていたんだよ。
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. Byakuya is so many people's favorite. It is very surprising.
その間、俺たちは警戒のため単独行動を避けていた。
The
トイレ
entire
に行くのも2人で行ったほどだ。
the whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs.
つまり、俺たち4人にはアリバイがあるんだ。それも完璧なアリバイがな。
All of which is to say, the four of us have alibis. The only ones without alibis.
逆に私と苗木くんにはアリバイがない。だから容疑者は絞られてると言ったの。
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
そういうことだ。
Exactly so. So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it. I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
あのさ、ちょっといいかな。さっきのアリバイについてなんだけど。
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
何か反論があるのか？
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
反論の前に、殺人が起きた時間帯をもう少し正確に割り出したいんだ。
Well, before that, I just want to try to get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Why not just go everywhere in one big group? I think for some of it, it's because, like, so everybody goes together in a big group, right? Like, say they decide to go into one bedroom to sleep. You know, you're going to have people sleeping on the floor or whatever. There's still the possibility of maybe someone being able to murder someone in a big group while everyone's asleep, sort of thing. You know, there's been a murder previously with poison as well. To me, it's not necessarily a huge amount of safety. But, yeah. I think also they just don't want to spend that much time together because they will grate on each other. My favorite decided to go deceased. Yeah, a lot of my favorites are dead now, too. Yeah, it'll make people get annoyed with each other, and then you'll have another murder on your hands.
そうすれば何かわかるかも。
Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
好きにしろ。誰か協力してやれ。
Do whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
俺は戸上っちと一緒に植物庭園に死体がないのを確認してるぞ。
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't at the garden
あれ
at...
は夜時間直後、夜10時くらいだったべ。
Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock.
つまり殺人が起きたのは夜10時以降だべ。
So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
そこから死体を発見するまでの間が殺人が起きた時間帯ってことでいいんだよね。
Then I guess we can say that the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body?
あれでも私たちが死体を発見したのって何時くらいだったっけ？
Oh, but what time did we find the body?
鶴橋を取りに行った深ワッチが最初に死体を見つけたんだったな。
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? When she went to get the pickaxe. The body was discovered at... Wasn't it at 9? I think it was at 9.
これだ。死体を発見したのは9時だったはずだよ。
The body...
深川さんが鶴橋を取りに行ったのが
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe. I mean, at any point, Byakuya could be like, just let me poison everyone. Because prior to the 3rd chapter, there was no max of 2 kills per trial room. True, true. That rule didn't exist at the beginning, so he could have technically poisoned everyone. Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now? Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
確かに9時くらいだったわね。
Ah, okay, gotcha. He's right, it had to be around then.
つまり殺人が起きたと思われる時間帯は夜10時から朝9時までの間ってことだな。
So we can be totally sure that the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
僕は昨日夜時間前から寝ちゃってたんだ。だから夜10時以降のアリバイはないんだけど。
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock.
でも朝9時より前にみんなと合流したはずだよ。
But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
食堂で私と会ったよね。あれは確か。
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around...
そうだ。7時30分くらいだった。食堂に入るときに確認したから間違いないよ。
Oh yeah, right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
つまりナイギッチのアリバイがねえのは夜10時から朝7時30分までの間ってことだな。
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. you don't have an alibi. But like someone else brought up, like I think it was on Friday, so Hiro, Toko, Ali, and Byakuya are claiming that they were never alone overnight. But how was Aoi waiting for us in the cafeteria alone when we went there at 7:30? Unless, like, basically, the only thing I can think is that they split up or they didn't care about staying together once the morning announcement happened at 7 o'clock. Yeah, as you call in, yeah. Like, I think the only explanation there is that when the morning announcement happened, they were like, we don't have to stay together anymore. I don't think it's a spoiler, just something that helps to clean up the awkward parts of the game end. Yeah, like, because we were definitely theorizing and talking about that previously, because shit can get very awkward. Hey, Embers, how's it going? Welcome in. How is Monday treating you? The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m., and I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. until 7:30 a.m. You have the news if you haven't told me? You mentioned that you were going to possibly be starting up in some sort of VTuber agency. Is that happening? Okay, it looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Yeah, Toko doesn't have a complete alibi either because she went up to get the pickaxe. Yeah. And the fact that she came back is like Genocide Jack too. I mean, admittedly, she might have just sneezed, but oftentimes... Oh, actually, she probably saw the blood. That's what it was. You're getting everything together? Congratulations! That's so exciting. I think Hiro and Byakuya are completely fine. Yeah, but like I said, I don't really have like a strong inclination towards any one character for this one, so we'll have to see as the evidence starts to fall. Okay, sprinklers, exploded body analysis, and fragments near the dead body are the possible evidence, other than Schlorps. We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning. Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time. Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30. That's more than enough time to commit the murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time. There's something that happens in the garden every day at the same time every morning. Thinking back, the corpse was almost totally dry. In which case, I should be able to figure out when the body appeared in the garden. Okay, so I believe We have the exploded body analysis, which mentions that only the upper half was wet while the bottom remained dry. What are the other things that we have? Fragments near the body and sprinklers. I do think it's going to be the sprinklers. Fragments near the body is just talking about the bomb. But the sprinklers talk specifically about how it happens at 7:30 and it's impossible to change. So I think we shoot sprinklers at the 7:30. Yeah. Because that proves it had to happen after we had met up with Ali. I feel like this will be a weird trial. Same. How is the ultimate murderous fiend gone this long without actually killing? Because nobody's her type. I think Makoto's a little cutie. Like, I'm surprised that he's not her type. Okay, so sprinklers against the 7:30.
朝9時までの間だ。
一方苗木っちのアリバイがない。
夜10時から朝7時30分までの間だったよね。
No! The fuck? That logically makes sense to me. The fuck? Like, okay, so what am I supposed to do then? Sprinklers against the 10... The only thing that we have is, like, the 10:30 and the 7:30. Maybe the exploded body analysis to say that the body is only half wet?
朝9時までの間だ。
一方苗木っちのアリ
夜10時から朝7時30分までの間だったよね。
それだけの時間苗木。
Parking isn't an option. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to help me here. The only thing I can... You think Schlorp? Like, I don't really see how shooting 10 with 7:30 or 7:30 with 10 is going to be helpful. Focus on what's false. Yeah. Ugh! How? How does that make sense? It makes much more sense for the sprinklers to go against the 7:30. Fuck you, game.
いや、殺人が起きたのは夜10時以降じゃない。確実にもっと後だったはずだよ。
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later. Right? Am I crazy? Am I wrong? Like, it makes more sense to put this against 7:30 to say, like, that it... Because they're like, oh, it couldn't... I guess the evidence, the way that they're trying to say, is that it couldn't have happened between 10 and 7:30, while the evidence that I'm trying to present is that it must have happened after 7:30. So it's the way that, like, we're going about it, and that is where I struggle with this game. It is like, you're shooting a couple of words when I feel that the entire sentence is the important thing. Yeah, that's, like... That's the point I'm trying to make, right? Like, I'm trying to say that it had to have been after 7:30 because I was with Hina and the body was wet. Like, it's just coming at the same thing from two different angles, and it makes me very frustrated. And what makes you say that?
植物庭園のスプリンクラーだよ。
Because of the sprinklers in the garden.
あのスプリンクラーは毎朝7時30分に水がまかれる設計だったよね。
The sprinklers are set to go off at 7:30 every morning, right? Her full sentence was that it happened before. Yeah, I still get frustrated.
つまり死体が朝7時30分よりも前に植物庭園にあったなら。
So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30,
あの死体は水で濡れていなきゃおかしいんだよ。
then it should have been completely soaked.
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。私はちゃんと覚えてるわよ。
Hold on. I remember this part perfectly.
死体は濡れてたはず。びしょびしょだったはずよ。
Yeah, Toko, you and I have different definitions of perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
深さん、それは違うんだ。
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
違う？何が違うのよ。
I'm wrong? How?
濡れてるのは下の口がどうとか言うつもり。承知しないわよ。そんないやらしいこと。
Toko, I am not reading that. Toko, Get your shit together. Get it all together. Stop being you. I know that a lot of advice is to be yourself. Be someone else. Be Genocide Jack. Like, you need to fucking chill, lady. Like, Toko.
そうじゃなくて、あの死体が濡れてたのは
Like,
スプリンクラーのせいじゃないんだよ。
I am not comfortable reading that line about like a 16-year-old. No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
スプリンクラーのせいじゃない？
What do you mean?
そうやってスプリンクラーを否定することで私の存在自体を否定するつもりなのね。
By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence? Yeah, that was my goal, Toko. That was my entire goal here.
うわ、確実にネジ飛んでんべ。
Man, you're totally wacko. That is the best, the most accurate thing that Hiro has ever said. Doge, welcome in. How's it going?
スプリンクラーが関係ないって言うなら
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, yeah, please tell Toko to shut up again. As much as your dynamic makes me uncomfortable, because again, you're children, and I don't consent to like view this happening. I still would appreciate it in this case.
根拠を言ってみなさいよ。
You'd better tell us why. I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. Okay, we should have a truth bullet relating to that. Exploded body analysis? Yes, exploded body analysis is going to be the important thing here. I've been enlightened by the symbol of peace and bliss of joy, and that symbol is hope. Okay. As in the opposite of despair? All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence, and that should do it. If we look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Murder is wrong because they are teenagers. I mean, murder is generally wrong. Oh, rhythm game time.
認めないから迷惑なのよ。知らないわよ。待ちなさいよ。私が正しいのよ。迷惑なのよ。知らないわよ。
God damn it.
私が正しいのよ。認めないから。私を責めるの。認めないから迷惑なのよ。知らないわよ。待ちなさいよ。私が正しいのよ。スプリンクラーが
これで証明するよ。
There we go. I mean, what are the cases that murder would be right? I
スプリ
mean,
ンクラーのせいじゃないってことは爆破後の死体の状況を見ればわかるはずだよ。
yeah. I would say that murder is generally wrong. I can see some cases where if I was on a jury, I would say not guilty, even if somebody was a murderer, because there are sometimes extenuating personal circumstances, but it would take some really special circumstances, you know? I think I said murder is fucking stupid earlier. Sometimes, yeah. I'm so bad at the rhythm games. I felt that like the tempo there when there was a tempo change didn't actually match the rhythm of it, so I was slightly offbeat there. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
あの死体って上半身だけが濡れてて下半身は全く濡れてなかったよね。
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry.
もし死体の濡れた原因がスプリンクラーなら全身がまんべんなく濡れてるはずじゃない？
If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
上だけ濡れて下が濡れてない。なんて鬼畜マニアックなの。
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac. I was about to make fun of Toko, because I'm like, you were there. You saw me throw the bucket of water on. But then I remembered that she actually was exploded and like flung clear of this. So she actually probably didn't see this and didn't know it. So you compare this to like Hina and Hiro being so fucking stupid sometimes, and I'm like, okay, Toko, you get a pass on this. You get a pass.
も 構嫌だよこの人
Hina, shush. I'm so sick of her.
続けるよ。
Let's just move on. Yeah, she was in post-yeet recovery. Like I said, she was still like hanging off of the I-beams in the rafters, waiting for someone to pull her down.
どうして死体の上半身だけが濡れてたのか。
The reason only
その
the
理由は
oh right, that was Jill too, and they don't share memories. 100%. I'm suddenly thinking of like Jill and Toko as I don't know if any of you guys have ever played the game Ikaruga, which is like a shoot 'em up game where your ship goes between black and white phases, and when you are in black phase, you can shoot. You take no damage from black enemies, and you do double damage against white enemies, and the same as when you flip it. And so I'm just now thinking of like Toko and Genocide Jill as basically the ship in Ikaruga. Yeah, motherfucking Ikaruga reference. I swear, like we have such similar taste, Ghostbody, in games and anime and shit. The top half was wet because I threw a bucket of water on it.
あの死体が燃えた時、僕が水をかけたせいなんだ。燃えている上半身だけにね。
While the body was still on fire, I doused it with water, but only the part on fire, the top half. It was a very polite bucket of water. It didn't splash at all.
じゃあ死体が濡れてたのって本当にスプリンクラーのせいじゃないのね
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
そして死体がスプリンクラーで濡れてないなら、植物庭園で殺人が起きたのは。
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
じゃあ殺人が起きたのは朝7時30分から死体を発見した9時までの間だな。
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
でも苗木のアリバイがないのって昨日の夜10時から朝7時30分までだったよね
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 in the morning, right?
だったら苗木っちに犯行は不可能だべ。苗木っちのアリバイも成立じゃねえか。
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
そうなるとアリバイがないのはキリギリだけということになるな。
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko. Actually, let me check something here. In which case, there's only one person left without an alibi, which is Kyoko. Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
一つだけ言っておくわ
I'd just like to say one thing.
私がここで処刑されたらこの学園の謎は明らかにならない
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever.
だから絶対にそうはさせない
Which is why I can't let that happen. Kyoko, that's exactly what a killer would say. Huh?
つまり
She's
お
locking
前
in,
は
we're
犯
fucked.
人ではないということか。
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
当然でしょ私が犯人なんて
Of course I'm
そん
not.
なわけない
I have no reason to kill anyone.
これは黒幕の罠なのよ
This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
黒幕の罠
A trap?
この後に及んで僕のせいにする気
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? I mean, to be fair, Monokuma, we have tried to blame you for almost everything since the beginning of the game. But this reaction makes me think that maybe we're right this time, as opposed to all the previous times that we blamed you for things.
苦しいよそりゃ苦しいってそんな言い訳が通用すると思ってんの
Stop wasting time. Stop wasting energy. You really think your little trick is gonna work?
お前は黙っていろ。
Shut up, you.
はーい黙ってまーす
You got it, boss. Shutting up now.
だがキリギリ。お前には戦場ムクロを殺す動機もあったはずだ。
Yeah, we have an alibi because we are the main character. Totally ignore our viewer. Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
動機
She did?
キリギリは戦場ムクロを超高校級の絶望と言っていた。つまり黒幕だと思い込んでいた。
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything.
だからこそ戦場ムクロを殺し、全てを終わらせようとしたんじゃないのか?
So she killed her to try to put a stop to all of this. Isn't that right, Kyoko?
だが実際は違った。戦場ムクロは黒幕ではなかった。
But you
そこ
made
にキリギリの誤算があったんだ。
but you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all.
そしてキリギリにとっては予想外とも言えるこの学級裁判が始まってしまった。
And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
それがキリギリの動機？
So that was her motive?
動機があってアリバイがないとなると、これはもう確実にキリギリッチが犯人なんじゃ。
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's got to be the culprit. I feel like these fucking trials are like watching old episodes of like House MD, where like, no, it's not lupus. Okay, move along. Don't even think that it's lupus. Okay, it's not Hashimoto's. It's not like Addison's. Just move on to something else. Don't even look at the first suspect. It's not the first suspect. I think this is gonna get spinned on us again. You think so?
アリバイがないのは私だけじゃない。
Kyoko,
凪くんのアリバイは不十分よ。
don't you fucking throw me under the bus. I was helping you. I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient. It's never lupus except for that one time it was.
死体がスプリンクラーで濡れていないから。殺人が朝7時30分以降に起きたとは言い切れないわ。
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
どうして？
What are you...
死体をスプリンクラーで濡らさない方法があるからよ。
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet. Yeah, the tarp being moved.
言ってみろ。
There wasn't enough blood at the scene, right? Interesting. I'm listening.
現場にあったあるものを死体にかぶせれば濡らさずに済んだはずよ。
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet. A certain something at the scene was used to cover the body? Could it have been the wet tarp?
これだ。もしかしてあのビニールシートのこと？
You're talking about the tarp, aren't you? The body was a Toho player and dodged each water droplet. I've never seen Is Toho the one about the girls that are actually like battleships, or am I confusing that with something else?
気づいたみたいね。
You catch on quick.
そうよ。あのビニールシートを死体にかぶせればスプリンクラーをやり過ごすことが可能になるわ。
You're right. All you have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. Danganronpa mentioned. Welcome in. Is it Nikorik? Did I get that right? Different game? Okay. And that's the Bullet Hell game series, the red and white main character. I'm not familiar with that one. I'll have to check that out.
実際犯人はその方法を使ったはずよ。
Nikorik. Okay, perfect. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did.
あのビニールシートの汚れ方がそれを物語っているわ。
But yeah, welcome in. How are you doing today? The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. I still find the dirt pattern on the tarp to be confusing because if the tarp was placed on top of the body, one side should not be dirty, one side should just be wet. In order for it to be wet and dirty, then on one side, then the body should be on the clean side and it should be placed on the wet ground after 7:30 a.m. Wait a sec, is she gonna make us the killer? It could be. You made your own Danganronpa with blackjack and hookers? On second thought, forget the Danganronpa?
ビニールシートの片面だけが汚れていたのはその面がスプリンクラーを浴びたから。
Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water.
逆に死体に面していた裏面はスプリンクラーを浴びてないから汚れてもいない。
The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. I don't understand how it got dirty if it was facing up. Kyoko, do you understand how sprinklers work? Like, the sprinklers don't have dirt in them. There should not have been, like, dirt splashback if it covered the body. Do you remember the dojo key being in her room? While she supposedly doesn't have her room key. Oh, that's a good point. Yes. I mean, technically she could have had it in her room before she gave up her key. Or it could have been planted in her room. It's impossible to say. I think one of my characters just killed his best friend to survive. Yeah. I feel like that's always like an early on sort of thing. Not necessarily killing your best friend, but having your best friend die in a death game thing. Like that's done to show that it is serious. The stakes are real. You know, the collars will really explode. Like that sort of thing. It makes it personal to the main character. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked. But why would they go through all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet? We are in class trial number 5, so it is the luchador Muksaburo Mukura. I can't fucking remember her name. They say it a billion times. The ultimate despair is dead. Mukuro Ikusaba, thank you. Watch out for her? No. Or watch out for Kyoko. Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us. Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way that Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body had wet blood on it. Wait, something's not right. And what might that be? I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Okay, I believe condition of the body is gonna be exploded body analysis. We'll double check that. It might be body before explosion, actually. Yeah, I think we want body before explosion. Bloodstains around the wound. The body had stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. So we want body before the explosion. By covering up the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet. So the reason the tarp is only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet. But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right? It's because that side was protected from the water. I think protected from the water is the correct one. Or maybe didn't get... Fuck. I remember the blood on the body hadn't dried yet. You actually even warned us not to touch it to avoid getting any blood on us. Only dirty on one side? Oh, fuck, I missed it. Protected from the water doesn't quite seem right, because... Ah, fuck. There. I question one big thing. She has that key that opens all doors. Does it open her dorm room? I would think that it does. I would think if it opens all doors, it opens all doors, right? Nagi is a short king. I mean, they're all children, right? They're all tiny, except for me. When I was a child, I was a giant. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? He's only 160 centimeters. Oh, God, what does that work out to in feet and inches? I'm Canadian, so we like to pretend that we are like wonderful people with using metric for everything, but for height and weight, we absolutely use feet and inches and pounds. Distance, weight of other things, grams, milliliters, like whatever, kilometers. But for our own bodies, for height and weight, it's imperial. Can it open Makoto's bathroom though? Well, considering that's not actually locked, that's just like it's jammed, right? So I'd say no. Wait, does it? Monokuma hasn't been able to get into our dorm anymore since the keys went missing in Kyoto's pocket. Has he not been able to get into the dorm area? Or has he just not tried to? If you put a tarp on the body in that state, it would absolutely have gotten blood on it. Really, it was tented over the knife, right? It's like putting tinfoil over a pie in the oven. Yeah, that's the question. I don't remember him doing so. He has been kind of like out of commission though. You know, like there's the downed Monokuma in the gym. We haven't really seen him. I'm trying to remember where he popped back up again. I think it was in the data center upstairs. So we haven't really seen him trying to get in there. Well, maybe the culprit washed it so no one would know that they used it. I mean, if you're gonna wash it, wouldn't you wash the dirt off of the other side too? I mean, like it says that it's dry on one side and clean. Yeah. If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything. But Byakuya, you have to stop making sense or else I'm gonna get scared. Oh yeah, true. More than that, what if the very blood we saw— oh, wrong voice there. More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage? Huh? The blood was camouflage? What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim? I mean, we have seen that technique taken in a previous trial. I'm trying to think of, like, what they would gain by this. It definitely seems like the body was dead before the knife went in because— well, I mean, I wouldn't say that because it's possible the body was dead before the knife went in because there isn't a lot of blood nearby, but the body could have also been moved. Why is Yasuhiro still alive, bro? He's just the ultimate random. Yeah, it's you see it in, like, I don't watch a lot of reality TV shows, but you know, I watched Survivor when that show first came out. Everybody did, you know, it was a cultural phenomenon. But you'd often see people just kind of coast through because they weren't irritating enough to turn themselves into a target, or, you know, sneaky enough to, like, make it through. Like, they just kind of coasted while people who were very good or very bad kind of made themselves targets. Just throw the body into the man-eating plant. I mean, why not? It's right there if you're trying to dispose of evidence. You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that? Toko! 2 trials ago, we determined that this was in the fridge in the nurse's office downstairs. You made Hiro be right. Don't you feel bad? I know, they could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. Yeah, it could have been from a chicken. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead? No, that's not what happened this time. My friend last year asked me if I had seen Survivor. I asked him if he had been alive for the last 20 years. Yeah. Yeah. Oh god, that hurt. That show's 20 years old. I guess it makes sense that it's 20 years old. How is that show 20 years old? The passage of time. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. Hito can't ever be can't ever have been right. Kyoko forgetting we're the main character 100%. God damn. Yeah. It's weird sometimes seeing actors that I really loved when I was younger. And I'm like, ooh, you got all old and pudgy. Like, what? It has been a long time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden. They got blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must mean, oh fuck, what the fuck are we? Shit, I got distracted halfway through and I'm not sure what point they're trying to make. The chicken? Chimken? Chimken.
これだ。もしかして鶏の血？
You'll support me in my old age. Oh, aren't you just the best grandchildren? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Could it have been chicken blood? What? Chicken blood?
事件前に植物庭園の飼育小屋を見たときは、そこに鶏が5羽いたのに。
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens.
事件後には4羽に減ってたんだ。
But after the murder, there were only 4. It's because somebody wanted some nuggets, okay? That chicken that went to KFC. KFC is... I'm sorry. KFC is garbage tier fried chicken. Fight me about it. So you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood. Man, that's messed up. Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it. I mean, you don't know that they didn't. I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Sounds like an idiot trying to get away with murder, yeah. I mean, a lot of these people are not particularly bright. Yeah. Anyways, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory. So, fun Japanese fact that I just remembered with hearing her speak. Chicken in Japanese is niwatori. And there is a tongue twister that is niwa 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 niwatori ga iru. And it basically means there are 2 chickens in the garden. But because of, like, the different characters used there, even though it's the same sounds over and over again, it has completely different meanings. They are children, but, like, they ain't... Some of them are dumb. Oh, yeah, but they ain't exactly smart. True, true. I think Celeste deserved to die. Celeste? She was one of my best girls. Honestly, I liked her, but I wouldn't want to be around her either. She was too much of a wild card. Big surprise, the gambler is a bit of a wild card. Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. Yeah? You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water, and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the body should have soaked into the ground around, or the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. And they insulted me earlier. The ground was completely clean. I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Yeah, no worries, Sneak Peek. Have a good time. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand. They covered it beforehand? When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would? No, it was draped over the body. No, Makoto, that's wrong. I think so.
袖を通していなかった。上から白衣をかけられただけの状態だったよ。
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
じゃあこれで決まりね。
Then that settles it.
ごめん、話についていけてないんだけど、どう決まったの？
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what? I actually respect Hina more for asking that, because I get really frustrated with people who don't understand something and then just smile and nod and go along with it, but they actually have no idea. That's really frustrating for me in a business setting when people agree to something and then later on I find out that they didn't understand and just didn't do whatever they were supposed to do. So I'm like, no, if you don't understand something, speak up, ask for clarification. There's nothing wrong with that.
つまり殺人が起きたのはスプリンクラーが作動するより前だったのよ。
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off.
それなのに死体が濡れなかったのは犯人が死体にビニールシートをかぶせたから。
But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with a tarp.
そしてその後犯人はビニールシートを回収するのと同時に
Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp,
あらかじめ偽物の血で汚しておいた白衣を死体の上にかけた。
they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood.
犯人はこれら一連の偽装工作を行うことで殺人が起きた時間帯を誤認させようとしたのよ。
This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time of the murder occurred.
殺人はスプリンクラーが動く7時30分よりも後に起きたんだってね。
They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off at 7:30. I still don't like this logic, and hopefully she clarifies more afterwards, because in this case, so the body was there before, the coat was put on after, the coat was covered in blood, and then the knife was stabbed into the body. So again, even though she was dead, I feel like there would still be some blood leakage onto the ground, since you're inserting a knife there after, and like after the sprinklers are done. So what happened there? Right? Like, this seems weird to me.
確かにその方法なら7時30分よりも前に殺人を実行することが可能だな。
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier. Yeah, logical train of thought, right?
だけどさ、その偽装工作をするためには
But to pull all of that off,
スプリンクラーが終わった後に植物庭園に行かなくちゃいけないよね。
thank you, Saribot. Wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
大した時間はかからない。
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult. I'm actually, if this is the correct train of thought, if this is playing out the way that Toko is, or not Toko, that Kyoko is talking about it, I'm actually starting to suspect Toko. Because Toko, we know, went there after the sprinklers turned off. Toko was there at 9 o'clock. She saw blood and switched to Genocide Jack and came back. So I don't think it's beyond Toko to kill, and we're not talking Jack here. We're not talking about like Jack's ideal victims and stuff like that. That's not in play here. We're talking about Toko being the murderer. So if Toko had somehow killed someone without blood, like, you know, like, yes, all strangulations, you know? If Toko had killed someone and then came back at 9 o'clock and stabbed, like, you know, did the blood, well, the chicken blood then makes it a little difficult, because the killing a chicken, splashing the blood all over everything, and stabbing the knife would be very difficult for Toko to do. She could do, I feel like, any one of those things before turning into Jill. So, I mean, maybe Jill was like, fuck it, I don't want the body I'm in to die. Maybe Jill kind of realized what was happening and stepped in to try to help. But I'm feeling suspicious of Toko at this point. And now we're gaming? Yeah.
ビニールシートを回収した後、用意しておいた白衣をかけるだけ。
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body.
大した時間はかからないよ。
They'd be done in no time. I'm wondering if, like, the duct tape was used to help wrap up the coat to hide the blood or something? Or to stick it somewhere in the garden, so that way it would be, like, taped to the underside of something and out of sight?
それはそうかもしれないけど。
Maybe, but still.
朝比奈さんは食堂で苗木くんと会った後、彼と一緒に行動したの。
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
うんうん。私は先に体育館に行ってて、苗木は後から遅れてきたんだよ。
Oh, no. I headed off to the gym and Makoto didn't show up until later.
じゃあ、そのくらいの時間的余裕はあったわね。
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
そんな。
That's not...
不可能とは言い切れないはずよ。
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
どうやらキリギリの言う通りのようだ。苗木のアリバイは不十分だ。
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate. And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I'm guessing it's because Kyoko has something else that will exonerate you later on, and she's just trying to keep whoever, Toko, you know, not suspicious right now, while she continues to lay out the evidence that's actually damning for multiple people. I don't understand. This guy's dead body has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook.
さてと、振り出しに戻ったな。
We're going to take a quick look at that so we're aware of what's in this, since it's a new edition. The murder took place before the sprinklers turned on. The suspect covered the body with a tarp to prevent it from getting wet. Later, when they removed the tarp, the suspect placed a white jacket on the body. This jacket had been previously treated with blood to make it look like the corpse had been wearing it. The last thing we need is for her to get killed. Who? Kyoko? Yeah, we desperately need Kyoko. She's the only person helping us with things. If she killed someone, we killing her. Yeah. Well then, it looks like we're back to square one.
苗木のアリバイが不十分となると、容疑者は苗木とキリギリの2人ということになる。
Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
リアルな話、どっちが犯人だべ。
For serious, man, which one of them did it?
よっしゃ、思い切って運に任せっか。2分の1の確率だし。
Hey, why don't we let luck decide? I thought that said a duck for a second. Why don't we let a duck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds. Guys, no. You understand, like, this is the 5th trial. Why do you still not understand that if you fuck this up, you're all gonna die? You can't just guess.
だろ？ナイスアイディアだべ。
See? Pretty good idea, right?
そうじゃなくて、すごいこと思い出しちゃったんだけど。
No, not just that. I just remembered something super serious.
なんだ？言ってみろ。
Yeah, a duck would be more beneficial than a hero right now. I don't know if any of you guys watched Gravity Falls, but there's like a whole thing with Duck Detective in Gravity Falls. So he's like a little Sherlock type guy walking around like at criminals and police, and it is adorable. Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
あのさ、現場に黒焦げになったナイフが落ちてたでしょ?
You know that knife that we found all black and burnt?
ああ、爆発前の死体に刺さってたやつだべ。
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
モノクマファイルによると、腹部から背中までぶっ刺さってたらしいぞ。
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through from front to back.
で、そのナイフがどうした？
So, what about it?
あのナイフ、どこかで見た気がしてたんだけど。
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. Are you guys just realizing that this is a knife that Toko found and gave to us that was in our dresser and someone broke into our room at night and attacked us with it? The luchador attacked us with it? Yeah, another jab at Makoto. Ah, I see what you did there. I see that.
それを思い出しちゃったんだよね。
Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Let me just tab out and see who that was. Glowing Blob, thank you for the follow. Hope that you're having fun today. Welcome in, by the way. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered. Yeah. We're the main character. Stop this shade. It would be very interesting to have a game of this style, where we as the main character maybe are like an unreliable narrator, and it turns out that we actually did one of the murders, and then the main character shifts to like a different character partway through the game. I'd be down for that. Another fighter. Like, listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we going to do with it? It is also, again, feeding into my theory that Toko might be the culprit in this one. Toko is the one that found that knife and suggested giving it to us earlier. Actually, well, I guess we'll see if Toko was the one who suggested giving it to us, or if it was someone else. We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Oh, okay. Kyoko suggested that we take it. Still, the fact that Toko brought this, I'm suspicious. Huh? Me?
私が苗木に預けたナイフ。
It's the knife we gave to Makoto? How are you just realizing this? How many combat knives are in your regular school that when you see a second combat knife, you're just like, oh, I mean, like, this could be anybody's knife. Like, no, it's the same fucking knife.
驚かないということはとっくに気づいていたようだな。
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier. Yeah.
だったらなぜ隠していた？
Then why did you hide that fact?
隠してたわけじゃないんだ。ただ、
It's not that I hid it, I just didn't tell you about it when I realized it. Like, hours ago. Like, what hiding? It's just a lie of omission. Yeah, he should have said it. He should have said it fucking immediately. But this isn't the first time that Makoto has hidden things that he really should have disclosed. Yeah, he did fuck himself there. You are also welcome to swear in chat if you want to, Colin. If you don't want to, that's fine. But you are allowed to say fuck and fucked in this chat as long as you're not like directing it at people in chat. You know, unless it's a bot, I would prefer if you didn't tell other people in chat to get fucked, kind of thing. I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her. Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced that he did it. 12,000% convinced. Considering everything up until now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Okay, what evidence do we have here? Okay, he kind of fucked himself there, yeah. Okay, disguised dead body, body analysis exploded, and fragments near the dead body. Disguised dead body. Okay, that's the new one. Fragments near the body is the bomb. The bomb had disappeared. I don't remember what the third one was now. Exploded body analysis? Yes. You ever have the body remain on fire? Yeah. I'm not sure where we're going with this. I don't feel like any of these specifically say that it wasn't Makoto. It's the same one that we gave to Makoto. Is it really? I was afraid of that. If he did have that knife before then, that seals it. Makoto did it. Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer? Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? Okay, I think that might be it. So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it. What a horrible man you are, Makoto. We already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed, which means that the knife was thrust through the coat into the body. So I do think it might be the most recent one, the newest one.
死体に刺さってたナイフってさ、私がやっぱりそうだよね。
あのナイフをつまり犯人は
ナイフを預かってどうして僕が犯人？
だってナイフの傷が致命傷。
There we go. Easy one. Toko, rocks, glass houses, stop throwing.
そもそも戦場袋の致命傷はナイフの傷じゃなかったんだ。
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed her.
さっきの偽装工作の話でも明らかになったはずだよ。
That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
嘘だべ。さっきは致命傷の話なんかしてねえぞ。
Lies. We never talked about what killed her. True, we never talked about what killed her, but we did say that she, like, had been dead before the sprinkler. Like, she's not just gonna lie there on the ground under the sprinklers while she's alive. Like, you know, like, you need to be able to infer certain things here. Make connections that aren't direct connections.
思い出してよ。さっきの話だとさ。
No, don't you remember?
犯人は死体にビニールシートをかぶせた後で血痕付きの白衣を着させたんだよね。
The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right?
つまり被害者があの白衣を着たのは死んだ後ってことになるはずだよ。
In other words, the victim never wore that bloodstained coat until after they were dead.
それがどうしたんだって？
Okay, fine. So what?
だけどさ、僕たちが死体を発見した時は
So when we discovered the body,
ナイフは白衣の上から刺さってたよね。
the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body.
死んだ後に着させられた白衣の上から刺さっていたナイフが
Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on and she was already dead at that
致
point,
命傷になるわけないんだ。
obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
もう同じ箇所を2回刺した可能性はどうなんだ？殺す時と偽装工作の時の2回だ。
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up. I mean, that is valid. I wish that they had let me examine the body more. The cause of death is a big deal, yeah. They're really focusing this up on forcing this up on Makoto, yeah. The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot. There's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. Oh, fuck. I meant to look at it, not use it. The important... Yeah, that was the wrong thing. God damn it, wrong button. Was it in the file? Stabbed a single time. Okay, there we go.
これだ。モノクマファイルに書いてあったはずだよ。ナイフによる刺し傷は一つだって。
Don't sass me, Ghost Body. How dare you? The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
そうだった。盛大に忘れてたべ。
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
じゃああのナイフって
Then the knife.
あれも犯人の偽装工作だったんだよ。
It was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer.
きっと本当の致命傷に目を向けさせないためにより目立つ傷をでっち上げたんだ。
They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
その後死体が爆破されたのも同じ理由だったはずだよ。
Exploding the body afterwards was probably meant to do the same thing.
あの爆破のせいで死体は激しく損傷し致命傷がわからなくなってしまった。
The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her.
つまり証拠隠滅。それこそが犯人の目的だったんだよ。
It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
死体発見時にナイフの傷を印象付けておき、その後死体を爆破する。
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterwards.
そうすることで最初の印象だけを残したまま証拠隠滅を図ったというわけか。
They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death and then destroy any evidence proving otherwise. Toko triggered the bomb. She did. Does anyone remember, was she in Jack phase or was she in Toko phase when she triggered the bomb? I don't remember, honestly. Because, like, if Toko is the killer and Toko planted the bomb there to, you know, to disguise the evidence, she was in Jack or... Okay, perfect. Because it would be so hard to walk up and trigger that knowing it was going to explode. And, like, it would be so difficult to make yourself do that because you don't know how badly you're going to get injured. If it's enough of an explosion to light the body on fire, yeah. So Toko, I am very much suspecting you.
あ、ちょっといい？そもそもの話なんだけどさ。
That's true, because Toko is scared of blood, right? So there's no way that Toko would have gone up to examine it because she would have passed out. Unless that's all fake. How Toko got the... Like I said, the couple of things that all require blood back to back makes me... It's the only kind of, like, sticking point in my theory. Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but...
結局、あの爆発って何だったの？どうしていきなり爆発なんかしたの？
What's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
真面目に頭を働かせろ。わざわざ答えるまでもないことだ。
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
変だったら教えてよ。
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me. Wait, Toko murdered Ikusaba, but with a knife doesn't make sense. How would Toko, not Jill, get the jump on the Ultimate Soldier? That's why I don't believe that, like, the murder was not done with the knife. I'm not sure what it was done with because the condition of the body. But my kind of issue there, like, with it is more of the chicken, really. Because the chicken had to be slaughtered, and that's... Doing that, Toko would freak out and pass out with. Then the blood had to be put on the coat. And again, Toko would freak out and pass out. And then the knife would have had to be inserted in the body. And again, Toko would freak out. So, yeah, to me, like, I'm not sure if she's trading off with Jill. Or maybe because some of the wounds and stuff like that were several days old. Like, how long... Mukuro Ikusaba has been dead. Like, did she just phase this over, like, stage this over a number of days? And so the Jill is completely oblivious to all of this. Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
おそらく未知の粒子によって体内で核反応が起きて自然発火したんだ。
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion.
それだけは違う。確実に言えるよ。
I might be dumb, but I'm not dumb enough to believe that. Oh god, I wish I liked Fire Force. Speaking of spontaneous combustion, that's an anime that I really wish I enjoyed.
苗に答えてやれ。話が進まん。
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her we won't make any headway on this. There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. Does this have... Is that the actual... Is there another thing that says that the fragments are the bomb? I'm guessing this is it. It doesn't seem to be another one that's like the fragments are the bomb.
爆発の後、死体のそばに小さな破片が落ちてたでしょ?
After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? Yeah, 100% it could be that Toko did the murdering and then Jill did the covering up, because Jill obviously has a vested interest in Toko surviving. So, you know, I could see that Jill handled all of the bloody shit. I just think it would be extra tragic if Toko was the murderer and Jill had no fucking idea. I think that it would be so sad for Jill to die, being like, wait, what happened? Like, why are we being executed? What did my other personality do?
この破片があの爆発の原因だったんだよ。
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
あれそれってどこかで見たような気が。
You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
見覚えがあって当然だよ。だってこの破片は
That's only natural. Because, of course,
モノクマを解体した時に取り出した
we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma.
あの爆弾の破片なんだからね。
It's part of a bomb. The biggest thing that pissed me off with this is that in that image there of the bomb, like, yes, you see the corner and you see the part where it's bolted down, but that is black underneath it. In the other image, it looks like a brown stone texture that it's bolted to. So that's why I didn't put together that they were the same thing. Like, it looks like very different materials that the red box is bolted onto.
じゃああの爆発ってモノクマの爆弾のせいだったんだね。
Oh, then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
ともかくこれで犯人の目的は明らかになったな。
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute.
犯人はナイフの傷を致命傷に見せかけることで苗木に容疑がかかるように仕向けていたんだ。
They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injuries, that way we'd suspect Makoto.
そんなことをして得をする人物といえば
And the only one who would benefit from that
もう一人の容疑者である桐桐京子。
is the only other
お
possible
前しかいない
suspect.
はずだ。
You, Kyoko.
ちょっと待って、戸上君。
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
なんだどうした？
What's the problem?
いや、もう少し慎重に話し合った方がいいと思うんだ。被害者の致命傷だってまだ分かってないんでさ。
Well, I just feel like we need to actually think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
そうだね。確かに気になるかも。結局本当の致命傷って何だったのかな。
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
まあいいだろう。では議論を続けるか。
Fine, I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate.
どうせ結末には変わりはないんだ。
It won't change the facts of the case, regardless. Yeah, the wounds that are several days old, probably. It wasn't clear in the description if they are, like, defensive wounds, if there's, like, scrapes and abrasions, like, how bad the wounds are. Yeah. I really hate how little we got to examine the body in this one. I know I've said it like a billion times. We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Okay, can we remember what 3 bullets we have here? Oh, just Monokuma file number 5.
では議
Okay. So 5. They were dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They'd also been struck about the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but they were at least several days old. So it's the head wound. The head wound is what killed her. Yeah, but why add that if they're just wounds? Sakura is the martial artist. She would have wounds too, a lot of them. In her file, it didn't say anything about it. I feel like maybe the other wounds are to set the stage for, like, the timeline for when she died. Because I have a feeling that maybe she died a while ago. And then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct? The explosion didn't kill her for sure, I guess. Oh yeah, she was already totally dead when that happened. And it wasn't because of the knife, right? Then maybe there's only one other thing. Oh yeah, according to the Monokuma file. That's gotta be it. It was evidence that she was hit on the back of the head. And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. The knife was a cover-up, and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh. Which only leaves... See, this is, again, I'm like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to shoot with what. Because I feel like there's nothing incorrect that's been said here. They just related the information in the Monokuma file. So how am I supposed to use the Monokuma file against any of this? Everything they said was accurate. Okay, the victim's fatal injury. I guess we're gonna shoot the Monokuma file against the victim's fatal injury. Or we're going to suck up. Let's try slurping that. And we're gonna use that against the first one. There. First try, every time. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered. What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it? The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds. Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they didn't really matter. Okay then, we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of the head is what killed her. But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says that she was hit with a blunt object about as thick as a metal pipe. Like, all I can really think of in the area like that we've seen is some of the things in the shed. Like, there was a bunch of like a hose, shovels, like a pickaxe, but like hitting somebody with a pickaxe in the back of the head, that's not a blunt object, you know? It's a very sharp object. So spinning it around and trying to hit her with the handle would be very awkward, not weighted very well. No, that's weird to think. Why would he say that? The entire case is really fishy like that. Which thing? What did he say? I guess I can check. No, I think it's pretty valid to say that assuming the blow to the back of the head is what killed her. To assume that the wounds aren't relevant. True. That's true. I think that they're definitely relevant, even though they're not the murder, the cause of death. Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe. You know, those blunt pickaxes. How is that even possible? If you hit someone with it, it'd cave their skull in completely. I was just saying, that's very poorly balanced. Although it'd be interesting to see if it's possible to, like, remove a pin and remove the handle from the pickaxe. No way. The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want. So go. No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident. Toko, what is wrong with you today? Jesus, I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours and throw it on the ground and spit on it. I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time. Wait, Hiro, do you mean you want to do that to yourself or you want to do that to Toko? Seriously? We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know. We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master. So what was it? He got hit in the head. She got hit in the head with a chicken, right? That's the obvious answer. Go ahead. Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon. A real murder weapon. Fuck. I haven't deduced the real murder weapon. It can't be like a titanium arrow. Right? It's not the size of... well, I mean, admittedly, if they were a bundle... If they were a bundle, then yes, they could be. Yeah, the duct tape. Yeah.
これだ戦場ムクロの後頭部を殴打した凶器は
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her.
武道場のロッカーで見つけたジュラルミン製の矢だよ
And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo. It's interesting this is coming into play. I honestly wondered if some of the dojo stuff would just be like red herring evidence that wouldn't get used in the trial.
ジュラルミン製の矢？犯人はそれで戦場ムクロを殴ったのか？
An arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
ああ、間違いない。
Indeed, there's no doubt about it.
そうなのかな。それっておかしくない？
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
ちょっとあんた白夜様に口答えなんて100万年早いわよ
Hey, how dare you talk back talk, master? You have no right.
だって気になるんだから仕方ないじゃん。
I'm not back talking anything. I'm just saying what I think. I don't blame Hina for doubting it because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Okay, duct tape. This is gonna be the duct tape. Okay, so at least we know it's the first one.
武道場のロッカーにあった
The titanium
ジュラルミン
arrow.
製の矢
It was in the dojo locker, right?
間違いない
I have no doubt that that was the murder weapon. No, I don't think it's that.
本当にそうなのかな。
Are you sure?
何を気にしてんだ？
You don't sound convinced. What's the
だってモ
problem?
ノクマファイルには
Well, because in the Monokuma file,
凶器は鉄
it
パイ
said
プ
that the
程度
weapon
の
must have been about as
太
thick
さ
as a
の
metal
棒状の
pipe,
もの
right? It's gonna be on the next screen.
矢だと細すぎると思うんだけど。
Damn it, it moved.
白夜様に口答えなんて
Back talking master. You have no right. Oops, wrong button. Number 78. If that was... yeah, okay.
武道場のロッカーにジュラルミン間違いない
本当に
何を気にして？
だってモノクマファイルに凶器は鉄パイプ程度の太さの棒状のものって矢だと細すぎると思うんだけど。
There.
それは違う確かに矢だけだと細すぎるだから犯人はもう一つの凶器を使ったんだ
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon. I mean, I wouldn't describe the duct tape as a weapon.
もう一つの凶器？
Another weapon?
武道場のロッカーの中には丸められたガムテープもあったんだ
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled up wad of duct tape.
きっと犯人はこのガムテープを使ってジュラルミン製の矢を束ねたんだよ
The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together.
矢をガムテープで束ねることによって鉄パイプ程度の太さの凶器を作り上げ
Bundling them together using duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe.
それを凶器として使ったんだ
And that's exactly what the killer did.
3本の矢の教えと同じね戦国武将である毛利元就が息子たちに説いた教え
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. I actually don't know that story.
一本では脆い矢も束になれば頑丈になるそうやって三兄弟に結束を訴えかけたのよ
One stick is weak, but put them together and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
残酷な話だべ。
Damn, that's harsh. How is that harsh?
後悔を聞いてないでしょ
How is that harsh? Were you even listening?
とにかくこれで凶器も分かったはずだ
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon.
そしてそれらの凶器を武道場のロッカーに隠した犯人こそが
As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker,
キリギリ京子お前なんだ
it was you, Kyoko. I mean, again, I understand that they're saying that it was Kyoko because Kyoko had the woodblock key in her room that for the locker that the arrows were in. However, as we were discussing earlier, Kyoko did not have the key for her room, so it could be argued that somebody put in her room while you know, while she didn't have access to it. But it could also be argued that it was in her room initially. So unless somebody has some evidence here about, like, when that appeared, this is going to be a little hard.
私は武道場なんかに行ってないわよ
I've never been to the dojo.
いやお前は間違いなく武道場に行っている
Oh no, you absolutely have.
どうして言い切れるの
How can you say that with such confidence?
もちろん証拠があるからだそうだよな苗木
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? Yeah, Byakuya had the key, but Kyoko had the key for every other door. So unless they clarify that it does all the doors, like all the classroom doors, the cafeteria, the like the gates on the stairwells, but not the bedroom doors. Like unless they clarify that, we have to assume that Kyoko did have access to her room.
それは
Oh,
どうした
what's the matter?
まさか犯人をかばうつもりじゃないだろうな
Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer.
そんなことをしてどうなるか分かってるのか
You know what will happen if you do, don't you?
もしお前がかばった人物が犯人だったらその先に待っている結末は
If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to
俺たちの全員の死なんだぞ
the death of all of us. Remember?
もちろん分かってるよ
Of course I remember.
だったらお前の手で示してやれキリギリが武道場に行った証拠をな
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo. I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. It must be connected to that dojo locker. Woodblock key.
これだキリギリさんが武道場に行った証拠は
The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is
武道場のロッカーの鍵だよ
right here, the key to the dojo locker.
そんなものがどうして証拠になるの
And how does that prove anything?
これがキリギリさんの部屋に落ちてたからだよ
Because I found it in your room.
私の部屋に落ちていた
It was in my room?
とぼけても無駄だ
Don't bother trying to play dumb.
それにこの鍵だけじゃない
That key is just the final piece of the puzzle.
アリバイの件も動機の件も苗木に罪をなすりつけるための偽装工作の件も
Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime.
それらの全てがお前が犯人だと示している
This all
諦めろ言い逃れはできんぞ
this all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
ちょっと待って
Hold on a second.
またかお前はどうしてもキリギリをかばいたいらしいな
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
いやかばうとかそういうことじゃなくて
No.
僕はただ
It's not that I want to defend her, it's just
キリギリさんに聞かなくちゃいけないことがまだ残っているんだよ
there's one more thing I need to ask her.
キリギリさん教えてほしいんだ昨日の夜の件だよ
Kyoko, I want you to tell me something.
昨日の夜キリギリさんは僕の部屋にいたよね
Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? You know Toko's not going to miss a chance to make some sort of comment about this.
あの時何があったのどうして僕の部屋にいたの
Why? What were you doing there?
それを教えてほしいんだ
That's what I need to know.
私はあなたを助けただけよ
I was just protecting you. Yeah, Kyoko also saved our ass, though. Yeah, it definitely feels like there might be more evidence that comes into play because we don't see the full picture here.
Eh?
She was protecting me. Does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone For me,
もういいだろう。無駄話は終わりだ。そろそろ結論を出すぞ。
that's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand. And so,
ちょっと待って。
wait,
間違わないで。私は犯人じゃない。
I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
まさかお前の往生際がそこまで悪いとはな。
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
だけど、私が犯人じゃないってことは、あなた
Really?
が一番よく知っているはずよ。
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it.
そうでしょう。戸上くん。
Can you tell me I'm wrong?
俺がだと？
I should know. What? Byakuya should know better than anyone. But with all the evidence that we currently have, she could not have done all the things which happened, right? Like, there's a couple of sticking points in that theory. Sounds legit to me. What does that mean? When the body was found. Let's double check that piece of evidence.
今
Okay, 7 a.m. Makoto wakes to the morning announcement. Makoto and Aoi arrive in the dining hall. Makoto meets the others in the gym because they head to the headmaster's room. Toko is told to find the pickaxe in the garden. Like, I don't feel like... I think this is going to be a slurp. Like, I don't see how this is relevant to Byakuya knowing that it couldn't possibly be Kyoko. So let's see what they're going to say. Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
そのままの意味。
Exactly what I said.
私が犯人
I'm
じゃ
not
ない
the
という
killer.
ことは、あなたが一番よく
You
知っ
should
ているはず。
understand that more than anyone here.
戸上っちなんか
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
様が私に
Master would never hide something from me.
キリギリ
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
あるとでも言うのか。
Is that what you're saying?
さっきのあなたたちの推理
You stated a theory earlier.
私は武道場の
You said I
ロッ
hid
カーに
evidence
証
of
拠を
my
隠し
crime in the dojo locker. Oh, the key.
その鍵を自分の部屋
And
に
then
置い
left
た
the
らしい
locker key in my own room.
本当に私にそんな
But
こと
could I
がで
really
き
have
た
done
のか
that?
しら
Wait, Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean...
今の
Okay, I still don't think when
どういう意味？
I still don't think when the body was found is relevant to that. It has nothing to do with the key or Kyoko or Byakuya or their positions there. So I do think this is a slurp.
そのままの意味私が犯人じゃないということは
I'm not the, okay, not the killer is an option.
ヤクヤ様が私に
キリギリ
There's
お前が
proof.
あるとでも言うのか。
さっきのあなたたちの推理で私は武道場のロッカーに証拠その鍵を自分の部屋に置いたらしい
Okay, the locker key in my own
本当に
room.
私にそんなことができたのかしら
Fuck. Okay, the locker key in my own room is the important piece there. But I don't know if we need to hit that with something or if we need to suck that up and hit something else with it. Okay, let's see these options again.
今の言葉はどう？
そのままの意味私が犯人じゃないという
Okay, not the killer, the locker key in my own room. I don't feel like that's
あな
it.
たが一番よく知っているはず
戸上っち
ヤクヤ様が私に
キリギリ
There's
お前が
proof.
犯人ではない根拠が
Like, that's so
あるとでも言うの
generic.
か。
さっきのあなたたちの推理だ私は武道場のロッカーに証拠を隠その鍵を自
The
分の部
locker
屋に
key.
置いたらしい
Maybe we try when the body was found with the
本当に
locker
私
key
に
in my
そ
own
んなこと
room.
ができたのかしら
That doesn't really make sense to me, but nothing else really makes sense either.
そのままの私が犯人じゃあなたが一番よく知って
戸上っちなんか
You think the locker key in my own room on there's proof? Yeah, we'll suck up the locker key in my own
キリ
room.
ギリお前あるとでも言う。
さっきのあなたたちの推理だ私は武道場のロッカーにその鍵を自分の部屋に置いたらしい本当に私にそんなことができたのかしら
今の言葉はどういう？
そのままの意味私が犯人じゃないということあなたが一番よく知って
戸上っち
もうヤクヤ様が私に
キリギリ
お前が犯人ではない根拠。
それは違う
Okay. I don't really think that makes a lot of sense.
キリギリ様
But As long as it's right.
入れなかったはず。
If I'm right,
そういうことだよね。
Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
自分の部屋に入れなかったってどうして？
Huh? Why not?
だってキリギリさんは自分の部屋の鍵を戸上くんに預けたままだったんだよ。
I think my issue with that is just the words "there's proof" is so generic. Like, if there had been something about being locked out or not having access or whatever, then the key in my own room obviously would have gone against that. But just "there's proof." I'm like, you know, you can use evidence to prove anything that's remotely true. Like, how does "there's proof" match into this specific situation? Because she had given her room key to
そ
Byakuya.
うか、そういうことか。
I see. So that's what you meant.
俺がお前の部屋の鍵を持っているということは、
And if I had the key to your room,
鍵を持ってない私は自分の部屋に入ることができない。
then I obviously had no way of getting in. それは違う. Like, you did have a way to get in there. We know that you have a special key.
つまり自分の部屋に武道場の鍵を置くことは不可能だ。
Without my room key, I couldn't possibly have put the locker key in there myself.
そうでしょ。
Am I wrong? Do we throw Kyoko under the bus here?
確かにそうなるな。
It would appear not. There's also, like, nobody's mentioning about the fact, like, it could have been in the room before. Actually, I guess, because... Again, it all depends on the timing of the murder, right? If the murder had been done a couple of days beforehand, like we're possibly theorizing because of the old wounds on the body, then Kyoko absolutely would have been able to use the arrows to kill the body, well, to kill Mukuro, and put them into the locker and have the locker key in her room before Byakuya took the key from her. So again, this is all timeline based.
やっと分かってくれたみたいね。
Then you're finally starting to understand. No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning or meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap that the mastermind had laid for us. The mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The mastermind's trap. The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. Am I the only one who knows that it's a lie? Makes sense, yeah. Sorry, I missed a bit. Had to give some medical advice to my cousin. I hope your cousin's doing okay. I'm the only one who can expose it. Basically, Kyoko pushed the slurping occurred, and Kyoko's pushing the narrative that she couldn't have been the person to put the woodblock key in her room because she didn't have her room key. But as I was ranting, that doesn't really mean anything because she has a key that gives her access to any door. And also, because of the timeline of when the body died, she could very easily have had the key in her room when Byakuya took the keys from her. And nobody would have thought anything about a locker key being in there. Like, nobody would have given a shit. Oh, he fell while working. Ooh, I'm sorry. That's not great. Yeah, I hope that he isn't too badly hurt and has a quick recovery. I was saying in the last stream that one of the worst things about not being a child anymore is that even falling from a standing height, I'm like, ow, this hurts. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? Should probably be fine. We'll see him in a bit. Okay, well, best wishes for him. The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means moving the or solving the mystery, we have no choice. Yeah, the slurping absolutely worked. This is kind of messed up. Yeah. It is a very messy trial. The Titan's collapse is felt much easier than that of an ant's. It's an interesting expression. I don't think I've ever heard that before, actually. Am I wrong? What do I do? In character, Naegi wouldn't tell on Kyoko right now. I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Run away. Let's just book it. Let's just go. Fuck this. I'm out. This is the Bard's Tale. We're just leaving. Game over. We're gone. Go for run away. Run away. Personally, like, call me a petty bitch, but I'm like, she threw us under the fucking bus earlier. Turnabout is fair play. Let's pursue the goddamn lie. Why are you, you know? You'd say let it go? Yeah. I definitely feel like story-wise, with me not being petty, we should let it go, because we're operating on under the assumption that Kyoko is being truthful, that Kyoko is our ally and a good person. If we let it go, you know, and this could come back around and bite us, but I feel like we're supposed to trust that Kyoko is actually on our side. Oh, we can't save now either. Okay, we'll try letting it go. Yeah, because she has a plan she has for most of the game. Exactly. Kyoko, you are the last remaining best girl, so we're gonna have to trust that you know what you're doing. I've made my decision. Hey, Tolk, welcome in. You agree with this logic? Yeah. How are you doing? That Mario 64 you were playing the other day was so normal in every way. It was not odd in the least. I was quiet, but I was watching for quite a bit of it. It was so normal, right? And the fun thing, too, is that I never had an N64, so I legit was like, oh, this is a little wackier than I remember. Like, I don't... Was it? Huh? It's like I read 2 books, where the second book has, like, a lot of recaps of the first one, but it has an unreliable narrator. And I had, like, a year gap between the 2 of them, so I just accepted it all as being gospel. I'm like, wait a second. Wait, that isn't what happened? You didn't have Senator Armstrong throwing you around normally? I think it was the cat that was the first thing that tipped me off. I'm like, wait, there was no cat like that in Mario 64? What? I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way that she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here, something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned. Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. My number 1 Mario, by the way, is Super Mario World. That one is my favorite. Love it. Although I watch a lot of Mario Maker. Byakuya knows that it's a lie, yeah. But if he knows that it's a lie, then that begs the question of how does he know that it's a lie, right? I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else. I mean, you don't have to admit that. I have given you 2 very valid arguments against it. Yeah, intuition, yeah. Admittedly, he doesn't know one of the very valid arguments. He doesn't know that Kyoko has a skeleton key, basically. But who else could it have been? I mean, Byakuya had a key to her room, right? What are you trying to imply? But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. Yeah, but Makoto found the dojo key in Kyoko's room. Are you insinuating that Makoto planted it? God, I wish that this was a bit more of an unreliable narrator. If there was the chance that Makoto could have been... Yeah, that's what they'll say. Yeah. If there was the chance that Makoto, that we, the player, could have actually been the killer for any of these, it would add such a fun dimension. Makoto couldn't have gone into Kyoko's room either. Yeah, but I think they might say that he, like, while Byakuya was distracted or whatever in the room, that Makoto found, like, basically Makoto found the block in there like a cop planting drugs on someone. You know, it's like, oh, what did we find here? But of course I have an alibi. Oh, I already read that. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone or put the key in Kyoko's room. Well, someone had to put the key in there. It's 11. Oh, that's the wrong button. Sorry for that fun sound there. There we go. Someone had to put the key in there. Yeah, we could have put the key in there. There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, and then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there. So we are looping in that direction. Blaming us once again. It had to be Makoto, right? I don't see any other option. Well, wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh?
A hidden side? First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead, and then we're thrown into a trial? And Kyoko even said it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be... Oh, yeah, like the dots with Monokuma, I'm like, you don't like the direction that this is going in. Okay, time's up. Time's not up, Monokuma. Fuck you. We're not done talking yet. Huh? Time's up. Class trial's all over. Everyone can stop talking now. Yeah, it's a farce. What? Time's up? What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we... Yeah, now you look here, you little shit. It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. Admittedly, we've been doing this for 4 hours now. This has been an exceptionally long trial, but like a good hour of that was yapping, so... So then, it's time for voting, okay? Everyone please vote using the lever in front of you. I'd say more than an hour. You shush. It was a very yappy morning. It was enjoyable? Okay, good. Then you don't shush. It's fine. Voting time. Voting time. I don't know how to make the rest of the song go with that. Oh shit, like it's actually over. Oh my god. Oh no, that means we might not be able to save. God damn it. Now. Now, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? We will make the choice to save right now. Okay. Hey, hold on.
どうなんだ
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? I want to know. Is it gonna be Monokuma up there? That is incorrect, guys. That is very incorrect. I'm like, I didn't fucking fail this game, right? Like, what? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man. Yeah, sorry. Admittedly, you know, I'm not saying I would kill a classmate, okay? Like, I'm not saying that. But I am saying that if I had been falsely accused of killing a classmate a bunch of times, I would be a little tempted to kill a classmate and then say, guys, it's never me. You know it's not me, right? Like, we've done this. We've talked about this a bunch of times. Like, it's not me. The same thing is happening where you guys are just jumping on me for no reason. You know? Yeah. Nani, you fools? I think this was a stage from the mastermind to get rid of Kyoko. Like, it is really weird. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it. Good job, everyone. Good job. Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. I mean, admittedly, you thought that you would stab this person while you were feverish and like asleep, so... Admittedly, we know that the stabbing wasn't the killing, so what's going on here? Like, it couldn't have been Makoto. He did not have the murder weapon. He did not... Fever aside, it could not have been Makoto. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense. It's the same as always, just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way. It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Oh, Kyoko's not happy about this. Oh, my cousin's here. I gotta go. Good luck with the rest of the stream. Hope to see you on Friday. I had a blast. I'm glad that you had fun, Colin. I hope that your cousin is well. Best wishes from me to him and to you with this. And hopefully see you on Friday. We're gonna be done in like 3 minutes anyway, so you're not gonna miss much. Kyoko.
許してもらおうとは思わないわ。すべて私の責任だから。
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault. Kyoko.
では張り切っていきましょう。
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time. Your last remaining best girl is shooting you a death stare. I choose to think that she's not giving us a death stare so much as she is like giving the situation a death stare. Makoto has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Man, you're gonna make me have like a lesson while you're killing me? That is the worst punishment. After school lesson. Okay, just the name of the killing. Why is there a sperm and an egg up on the board there? Oh, shit! It's like I knew something had to stop this. I did not expect Furumakoto to actually die there. I did not expect it to change protagonists. But I also did not expect Alter Ego to come up there. Huh? Huh? I think we save here. It's noon. Let's keep all this context for Friday's stream. So that way when we come in, we get this reminder of the fact that this all happened. So let's save right here and keep that context for Friday.